Goeiedag, welkom by die tweede les oor voornaamwoorde. In hierdie les gaan ons kyk na betreklike voornaamwoorde. Those are our relative pronouns. You have to be aware that these relative pronouns act as conjunctions. So also refer to the lesson about voegwoorde, conjunctions, if you are unclear about anything. Betreklike voornaamwoorde gebruik ons een van twee, wie of wat. Kom ons kyk daarna. Ons gebruik wat vir mense, diere en goed. So the first thing that you have to remember is that you are always going to use wat except when there is a voorsetsel and it is a person. So for all persons, animals and things, no preposition, wat. When we have a person plus a preposition, we are going to use wie. And that is very important. You'll see when we do the examples. Reg. Wat doen die betreklike voornaamwoord? Ons vervang die subject, object of die pronoun. So ons vervang die onderwerp of die voorwerp of die voornaamwoord in die sin. So ons kry twee sinne en in die tweede sin word een van hierdie herhaal. Something in the second sentence refers to the object or the subject or the pronoun in the first sentence. And that is where the term relative pronoun comes in. We use it to replace the specific word. How do we go about that? What to do? The first thing you are going to do is underline the words that are repeated. So you are going to look for a word, a subject or an object that is possibly repeated with a pronoun. Cancel out the words in sentence 2 that are repeated. Then rewrite sentence 1 until after the word that is repeated. Then you insert your relative pronoun. So remember, it's mostly going to be wat, except when you have a person plus a preposition, then you are going to use wie plus the preposition. Then you rewrite sentence 2 with a verb at the end. Remember, relative pronouns act as conjunctions. They fall in group 3 and the verb moves to the end of the sentence. Whatever is then left from sentence 1, you put a comma after what you have written for sentence 2, and then you write whatever is left from sentence 1 after the comma. Let's look at these in specific examples. Which one are we going to use here? Wie or wat? Let's look at our two sentences. My oom is die burgemeester. Hy is 80 jaar oud. So my oom en hy, those are the two concepts that are repeated. So that's our first step. Underline what is repeated. Then we cancel out what is repeated in sentence 2. Rewrite sentence 1 until after the word that is repeated, my oom. Now we have to insert our relative pronoun. There is no preposition in the sentence, so we are going to use wat. Right. Rest of sentence 2 with a verb at the end. Wat 80 jaar oud is. And then we put a comma and write what is left of sentence 1. Is die burgemeester. Reg. So this one followed the general rule where we use wat because we have no preposition in our sentence 2. Let's look at another example. Wat gaan ons gebruik? Wie of wat? Die man woon in Kaapstad. Ek skryf aan hom. Hom refers back to die man. Sentence 1, sentence 2. So we are going to cancel out what is repeated in sentence 2. Start with die man. And now we have to note that we have a preposition in sentence 2. So that means we are going to use wie because this is a person. So it is die man aan wie ek skryf. And then we put a comma. And what is left of sentence 1? Woon in Kaapstad. So that is an example of a preposition plus a person, and we use wie to combine these two sentences. When we have that or which in an English sentence, we are going to do the following. Die perd sal die wedren wen, the horse will win the race. That is our sentence 1. And sentence 2, hy is die vinnigste. Hy refers back to die perd. So we are going to cancel it out in sentence 2. We start with die perd. Reg. And then we need to write sentence 2 with a verb at the end after putting our relative pronoun. For all things, we use wat. Die perd wat die vinnigste is, komma, sal die wedren wen. Reg. What was left of sentence 1, we added in there. Good. Then when we have whose in English, whose in English becomes wie se in Afrikaans. Whose always refers to a person. Die seun gaan tandarts toe, sentence 1. Sy tand is seer, sentence 2. Sy refers to die seun, so we're going to cancel it out in sentence 2. Start with die seun, insert our relative pronoun, wie se, and then sentence 2 with a verb at the end. Wie se tand seer is, and then we put a comma, and whatever is left of sentence 1, gaan tandarts toe. Reg. Now we have to remember that you do not only get prepositions with wie. What happens if you get a preposition with wat? Let's look at an example. When we have a preposition with wat, die stoel het 'n gebreekte poot. The chair has a broken leg. Sy sit op die stoel. So hier kan ons baie duidelik sien wat herhaal word, die stoel en die stoel. So ons kanselleer hom uit in sin 2, sin 2 en sin 1. Ons begin skryf die stoel Good. And now we want to put wat because it is a thing. But because we have this preposition, the wat plus the op changes completely and it becomes waarop. Reg. Die stoel waarop sy sit, and then once again the comma, and then what's left of sentence 1, het 'n gebreekte poot. Reg. So what you need to remember is that wat plus preposition changes the word completely. It becomes waar plus the preposition. Let's look at those examples. So this you are going to learn. When you have wat plus a voorsetsel, you'll see they all become waar plus the voorsetsel. We have two exceptions here, met and vir. So wat plus met becomes waarmee, and wat plus vir becomes waarvoor. All the rest of them will be exactly the way the preposition is. Wat becomes waar and then oor. Waaroor, waarop, waaruit, waarvan, waarby, waardeur en waarin. And these ones you have to learn and remember. Hoe word betreklike voornaamwoorde gevra in die eksamen? How will these questions be asked? There is one of two ways. Kies die regte een uit die hakkies. So they will, for example, give you a sentence and say, die seun, and then they will say wat, or wie, op die stoel sit, is klein. Reg. What does our original rule tell us? We use wat for anything if there is no preposition and it's a person. So in this example, it will be die seun wat op die stoel sit is klein. So that is one way of asking the questions. Or they will ask you to use a betreklike voornaamwoord to combine two sentences. And this is when you will use what we have just discussed. Go back to the slide where it gives you the different steps and practice those examples that we did together. Also refer to the lesson on voegwoorde where that will be discussed again. Dankie, ek sien julle volgende keer.